Well, hello, Young and the Restless Daily Recap fans. Today's daily recap is for Wednesday, December the 28th, 2022, the last Wednesday of 2022. We already knew this week wasn't going to really be about anything, so why would today be any different? We have Adam running into Sally at the coffee house, and she's drinking herbal tea. And he looked at her and he goes, "What's wrong with you?" And she goes, "What do you mean?" And he's like, you are a double espresso kind of girl. And herbal tea?" He's like, "I don't ever think I've seen you drink herbal tea." So she says, "I just wanted to change." And so he was trying to do small talk. "How was your Christmas? I know you don't celebrate holidays. What did you do?" She's like, "Nothing much. How was yours?" And he chit chatted a little bit about the Newman Day. And then it was pretty much it. And he was off. So then we get he goes over to society, and I guess he went from wanting to grab a cup of coffee, seeing Sally, saying, "Nope, you know what? It's not too early. I'm going to society and I'm getting a real drink." So that's what he did. And Nick walks in because Nick is pissed. He left the office because Victor was on him about dumping that spectral woman. "She's beneath you." He's just going on and on. Same things he would tell Adam about Sally. He's telling Nick, and Nick wasn't having it. And he goes, "I could use, some backup, Victoria." She's like, "Oh, I think Dad is right." So Nick looked at her, but he says, "Listen, see, it's this same micro management of my life that you try to do that causes me to walk away." And in reality, Nick is in his 40s. Okay, Victor, he is not a kid. Nick is going to do whatever he wants, and he's right. He goes, "My personal life is my personal life. It has nothing to do with this job here, but like if boundaries aren't going to be kept, then it will put this job here in jeopardy," because he'll walk, right? So Victor looked at Victoria. She looked at him. Nick walked out, and they're like, she goes, "I'm with you, Dad." But anyway, Victor starts talking to Victoria about, now that the Chancellor deal has gone out of the water, kind of pretty much blown up, has she let it go? She goes, "Well," he goes, "are you laying awake at night trying to figure out how you could salvage that?" And she goes, "Well, I mean, it's a good deal. And yes, I would love to be over both of the companies." And so Victor finally told her, he said, "You know what, Victoria, you have to learn when to let a deal go." He says, "Because it's not meant to be." She goes, "Yeah, I lost my advantage. I would have had the majority of the shares if I would have gotten 8 shares. And yeah, we had the advantage of no one getting insider information. So I lost my intel guy, but that doesn't mean something else can be done." And Victor's like, "But you don't need that deal." And he goes, "Sometimes you need to step back, Victoria," or whatever he calls her, sweetheart. "Sometimes you just need to step back and you know what? Let's work with the deals you have. You got a phenomenal company. And before you rush, now you're going to try to rush into this deal where you don't have the tactical advantage you had." And he goes, "That's when mistakes are made, Victoria. That's when mistakes are made." And she's looking at him like, "Yeah, but nope. Yeah, I hear ya, but it ain't going in here. Going right here. It ain't going inside." She wasn't paying her father no more attention than the man on the moon. So I'm hoping she really gets her hands slapped with whatever she's gonna try to do, because she's not listening. So anyway, Nick goes to society, sees Adam at the bar. Adam looks over at him. He looks at Adam, and then he comes over and sits down. And Adam's like, "Really? You you see, I'm here, and you're gonna come over? What's going on?" And Nick goes, maybe I'm in the mood for a fight. And I'm thinking, oh, good God, I thought you were 40. But no, you're what? 12, right? I'm looking for maybe I'm looking for a fight. Oh. And so Adam's like, oh, this must have something to do with the office, And so Nick is like, I see why you walked away and you left and blah blah blah. Our father always feels he has to micromanage your life, your personal life, and everything. And Adam is looking at him. He goes, let me guess. He wants you to give up Sally. And Nick just looked at him. It is my business who I see. I like Sally. And Adam looked at Nick. He goes, I like Sally a lot. So Adam says, you know what, Nick? You don't deserve Sally. He goes, you like your doctor. You're good. You like the dog groom. He didn't say that, but he didn't say the dog groomer. You like your dog groomer. You like your barber. He goes, but a woman you see and you've been seeing for a while now, all you can say is, I like Sally. He goes, you don't love Sally the way I love Sally. I love her. So anyway, they have their little, they didn't get into an argument or anything. Nick is still pissed off. Let's be real. Does Nick look happy at Newman? Especially now that he can't go down the hall and jump on the couch. What does Newman have to offer him? His heart was never in it, never. He's rolling with the punches, okay, but now his girl toy ain't there. No, I'm gonna really start to be unhappy. That's Nick. So anyway, their conversation was pretty blah. That's all that went there. So Sally's still at the coffee house, and she's sitting there trying to figure out, why is this herbal tea not tasting right? Oh my goodness. I don't even like herbal tea, but I'm trying and it still ain't settling my stomach. So Chloe is across from her because they're having a meeting. And Chloe's sitting there eating this cinnamon roll cake. And that's what I'm going to call it, because I have not seen a cinnamon roll, cinnamon pastry that huge given in one serving. The camera panned down to Chloe's plate, and I was like, what? That's enough to feed her whole family. What are you eating? That was way too much. Look, Sharon must have had a new employee, just started. Chloe says, I would like some of that cinnamon, a piece of the cinnamon buck cake or whatever it's really a cinnamon roll, but and the person just scooped the whole thing up on the plate and gave it to her and says, okay, that'll be $1.49. She gave us the whole thing. So Sally is looking at Chloe. Well, listen, we need to start talking. We need to discuss what we're going, our tactics. And Chloe, Sally's kind of like, and she goes, what's that smell? I'm smelling something. What is that smell? And Chloe goes, oh, this? Hey, you want some? It's like shoving it in her face. And she's like, oh, no, I don't want any of that. I'm not hungry, And so Sally's like, you sure? Because it is sure good. And she puts it back down. And I'm thinking, wow, right? And so there's Chloe says, okay, do you have an idea of what our pitch should be about? And Sally's like, no. So Chloe says, well, okay, you know what? I think we need to go in. She's given some great ideas. What we need to go in, already mock up designs of this, and this. And Sally's like, okay, that sounds good. That sounds good. And so Then Chloe says, and we need to really deal with palettes and fragrances and design, like some chamomile and honey and ginger and some grapefruit. And Chloe's stomach is really starting to turn. She's like, oh my. So excuse me, she gets up and she has to go to the bathroom. She's in there throwing up. And Chloe's looking like, okay, So Sally comes back down and she sits down and they're talking, and Sally's got a mint and she's trying to unwrap it. And Chloe says, wait a minute, what's going on here? What's happening here? She's like, she goes, my stomach is upset. I must be something I ate. I have a little bug. She goes, it's something because when Chloe came in, Adam was there and Adam left after Chloe came, right? She goes, because the only other, look, either Adam is causing this, or she looked at her and Sally's trying to put this mint in her mouth to calm her stomach down. She goes, Sally, no, you can't be. And Sally looks at her, what? No, I'm fine. Let's get back to work. Let's get back. So she got a little tablet. And Chloe's just looking at her like, you're pregnant. You are pregnant. Like, I know the signs. Girl, I've been pregnant 3 times. So it shows Sally later going back to her room at the Grand Phoenix, and she throws her stuff down on the little table, and she goes sitting in the little seating area, and she pulls out her phone and she's looking at her calendar, probably her little cycle tracker, and she's realizing, uh-oh, because I think it showed like 4 red dots, maybe meaning she's 4 days behind or maybe 5 days late, whatever. It's 4 or 5 dots, and she's looking like, oh no. So come on, look, Sally, we knew you were going to be pregnant months before you ever got pregnant, girl. Because at your age, if you don't know that you need to be either on birth control or you need to be using some great contraceptives, that's what's going to happen, Sally. That was what was going to happen. Huh? Now, I know your Grams told you that. No, I know it. So anyway, we're going to see how that happens. And then Nick shows up at her room. Hi. Hey. I was thinking we could just go for a drink. And she goes, no, sorry, Nick, I can't. You know what? I've got some kind of stomach bug. And no drinking for me. And he's like, oh, okay, well, sorry to hear that. Hope you feel better. And I'm thinking, there's just no chemistry there. Oh, ooh. So anyway, we get to Summer had left the Abbott house to go see Phyllis. Jack and Diane, well, Jack comes in and Diane and Kyle are there, and he goes, oh, where's Summer? And he goes, oh, she went to go and see Daniel and Phyllis, right? And so he goes, oh, good, so we could talk freely. And so now they're talking all about, what should they do, the plans. See, and that's the very thing, excuse me, that if Summer would have gotten wind of just that very thing, that's what she has a problem with. See, and it's that very kind of thing, even though she put Diane on notice yesterday, this is the kind of thing that Diane is thriving on, because no, you could say all you want, but we still got you on the outside looking in. So Diane decided, Jack's like, you know what? It wasn't in the plan for you to come back. And so Kyle said, hey, I told her. And she goes, nope, I got a plan. I'm not staying away and hiding. I'm not going to let that man, run me away from my family. I'm this, I'm that, and I've got a plan. This plan's going to work. And Jack's like, okay, well, no, I've already got something in play with Stark. She goes, no, we're going to make him come to us. This, that. Oh, my goodness. So she calls him up, hey, Jeremy. And he goes, Diane. And so she goes, you know what? Let's meet. I got something to talk to you about. And he goes, you want to cut? Yeah, at my hotel room. She goes, oh, no. It's got to be in public. So then he goes, okay, where? So she goes, hey, let's meet at society. So they're on their way, getting ready to go meet at society. And Jack is like, I'm gonna go with you. And so she goes, Kyle says, Mom out. He goes, nope, nope. And Jack goes, I'm coming with you. She goes, no, he'll never talk to me if you're there. I know how to handle Jeremy. Trust me. And as she's talking to them, I'm thinking, you bumbling idiots, you're not even listening to the woman or looking at the woman's demeanor. This was the same woman that soon as she saw him, oh, I need you to protect me. She's like, I know how to handle it. And I'm thinking, oh, you do. Oh, wow. You're not afraid of him? Then what was all of those theatrics just 3 days ago over him? Right? They need to start taking notice, but they don't think about nothing like that. So Summer and Phyllis are at society. And Phyllis is talking to her about, they talked, and Phyllis says that Daniel has asked her to come and work with him. And so Summer's like, oh, really? And the Summer's looking kind of like, it's too bad it didn't work out for us. But, she goes, you know what, Mom, that's great. And she says, yeah, he wants me to head up the blah, blah, the tech division, and I'm going to have a team. And she goes, Mom, this job is right up your alley. You're a gamer. You're a gamer, you're a coder, like you're a hacker. And she goes, this is going to be wonderful for you. So she goes, but I've been kind of, she goes, well, what did you tell him, Mom? I was kind of waiting. I wanted to finalize things with you. I wanted to touch bases with you before I really gave him a definite, she goes, Mom, no. Our decision still stands. Marquette is not the place for you. And she goes, nor should you want to be there. Mom, this is going to be perfect. You're in an environment, you won't have the stress of Diane. You won't have any of that. And then Phyllis, it was my dream to work with my daughter. When you came back to town, it was you and I. Oh, and she's pouring it on. And she goes, Mom, I loved it too, but I mean, you made it impossible. No, you and your husband are still blaming me for Diane leaving town. See, Phyllis don't know Diane is back in town, right? For Diane, being run out of town. She was run out of town because of her own doing. I am not to blame for that. And I'm thinking, that's why you got to go, Phyllis. That's why you got to go. You put everything in motion. You didn't let it happen organically. It's all because you fast-tracked everything. Okay? You know how the saying, you can lead a horse to water, but you can't make him drink. Phyllis took the horse and plopped him in the middle of the lake. And then saying, I couldn't help it if that horse wanted a drink. No, Phyllis, no. They warned you. You lost your job once. You wouldn't stop. You kept on going. What do you think? And just the way you and your husband is what she tells Summer. And I thought, nope, you got to go, Mommy, because you got to go. And then she goes, you're going to find out. Diane is whatever she says about Diane. And then she goes, you break my heart. Oh, she just gets her purse and she leaves, and Summer's like, and I'm thinking, Phyllis, shame on you. Shame on you. You didn't care about the repercussions of what your actions were going to do. You didn't care. And now you're trying to shame your daughter. I didn't agree with that. See, that showed Phyllis's complete level of immaturity. And Phyllis is. She's selfish and she's immature. And you know, Phyllis is my favorite actress on The Young and the Restless. But no, no, no. Because baby girl, you own what you did like you did. Well, no, she didn't even own it. I don't even understand why the stupid writers, and that's what it was, the stupid writers had her walk into that office and confess the truth to Jack and Summer. I don't get that. She should have still been saying, no, I didn't bring him to town. Or if you are going to say I brought him to town, then you own it, chick. Own it. Be proud of it. Don't be saying it ain't my fault. It is your fault, and it's not your fault. It happened because of you. Because of you. So she walked out of there. Summer goes home, and you know, Kyle is there because Diane has gone off now to meet Stark. And Kyle takes one look at her, and he goes, "Didn't go well." She goes, "Was the worst." And she kind of just like leans into his arms, and he's comforting her, you know. And that's one thing I can say. Even though Kyle can't stand Phyllis, he's not bad mouthing Phyllis to Summer. Like he was, when Phyllis was going rogue, he was saying, stop your mother, shut her down. She's going to, you know, bring a dangerous criminal in our life. And look, she sure did, didn't she? But even last week when Summer was on the couch with him, I think it was Christmas Eve, before they went up to the cabin, and she was just talking about the divide between her and her mother. He goes, things are gonna, she goes, you and your mother are gonna get close again. Things are going to work out for you. They are, Summer, you know. And I mean, he goes, and I'll help you. I'll see to it. He goes, but we, you know, like we got to take care of my mother first. You know, whatever. But at least he's not looking at her like, good, you don't need to see your mother anyway, because your mother's nothing but trouble. But yet Diane is still putting digs in about Phyllis. And you want to know what? Now that Summer is hurting over her mother, watch. This is my prediction. Summer's going to be super now critical and watching everything and listening to the things that Diane is saying and watching the things that Diane is doing. And Summer is going to be just taking notes on it. She is. So that I'm going to look forward to, because like Phyllis said, I was right. Well, she was right, but okay. But listen, you went about it the whole wrong way, you know? So now we have Diane at the restaurant with meeting Jeremy. And he goes, oh, Diane, I've forgotten how good it looks to see you walk in a room. And she goes, Jeremy. And oh, Diane is a little sultry, sitting down there, you know, kind of reeling him in. And she goes, talks about, well, you know what? We need to come to an agreement. Something that's going to settle my debt with you. Something that I can give you that's going to settle the debt. And she's just, oh. And I'm thinking, for a woman that was so afraid of him, oh no, yeah, look at her now. Now, mind you, Jack's not supposed to be there. She's supposed to be going alone, but around the corner, we see pasted up against the pillar is Jack. And I'm thinking, oh my goodness gracious. What, Jack? You know? Gag me, Jack, right? So she's getting ready to say whatever she's going to say to him, but Jack is not even listening to her. She was supposed to be afraid of him. Even if, yes, I do have a new plan that I'm getting ready to try to get over on somebody. If it's a person that I am afraid of, I'm still going to be a little bit timid trying to do the plan, right? Not Diane. That's because she was never really afraid of him to begin with. He has something on her. She knows, I mean, he knows something. And her fear was that he was going to bust her out. That was her fear. He came to the Abbott home and he could say anything and Jack could come in and it bust up her game. That's where Diane was so afraid. It wasn't because she was afraid of him. Remember, in reality, Jeremy saved her from being busted by the feds. He warned her and told her to get away. So something else is getting ready to another shoe is going to drop, and I can't wait for that shoe to drop. I really can't wait. But I just felt a little bad for Summer today, you know, because that's her mother. And she loves her mother. And for her mother to, anyway, okay, anyhow, let's go to Comic Corner. Comic Corner, we have just a few comments today. Annette says, so is old Diane for real? Oh, I think we're seeing the real Diane today. We're seeing Diane spin her web. Okay, we're seeing that, but nobody's looking at it like that. You know, she'll be looking like, you know, oh, I couldn't stand having to sit at the table with that man. I was so afraid. No, you weren't. No, you weren't, chick, at all. And then Dacia says, when Phyllis snapped that picture of her, Danny and Daniel, then Christine saw it. Christine Williams, now Paul's wife, saw the picture. She started remembering that she and Danny were once married. Yeah, she's not just once married, they almost married more than once. And I mean, they were just the love that just kind of got away. She's always loved Danny. And yeah, because you can see the progression throughout the years from when they were young and married, and then when they were divorced, and they kind of came back into each other's lives at different periods in time, you know. So she was definitely reminiscent. What was so funny is I knew when Danny made an appearance, I knew the Christine character was going to make an appearance. I knew it. We haven't seen her in what, a year, you know, almost. And I knew she was going to make an appearance here. So now we have Libby. That's my dog. Of course, she had to walk right on over to me as she's doing this. Then we have Karen. Would you move? Go. Stand right here by my chair. I don't know how she snuck up on me like that. And then Libby says, I'm wondering what's going to come of it. Are they going to have her lose her dang mind and go on a rampage against Phyllis? I think that is my prediction, your 2023 prediction. My 2023 prediction is nope. She's not going to go on a rampage because of Phyllis, because guess what? Christine does not have a storyline, nor do they plan on bringing her back. Danny's going to be gone next week for sure. As a matter of fact, Danny will probably be gone. I'm surprised he'll be here for New Year's Eve, because that should be a big concert night for him. So he better be performing in Genoa City, you know. But yeah, no, they're going to have her leave. You know, does anybody trivia? The actress, her last name used to be Bell when she was a child. Does anybody know her relationship to the creator of The Young and the Restless? She's the creator's daughter. She was a daughter, the creator's daughter, not what? Yeah, I think was something, forget his name. It wasn't William Bell. I forget the actual writer's name or creator's name. But if fans, Daily Recap fans, can you write the name of the creator of The Young and the Restless, and actually created Bold and Beautiful too, but what his name was, something Bell. But anyway, he created that role of Christine for his daughter. He did that just for her, daddy's little girl. So anyway, and so now at this stage, I mean, she doesn't really want to actively act, you know. And so she just comes on when she wants to come on, which is, look, isn't that the life? I said, yeah, you know what? I think I feel like doing something for, you know, about 3 weeks, a couple months from now. What you got for me, writers? Oh, okay, great. Sounds good to me. All right. Make it short though. So anyway, I feel like coming in for one day. You see Christine coming in saying, hey, yeah, just close the case. How you doing, Michael? Okay, yeah, good, good, good. Phyllis, you know. But anyway, it was good seeing her. But I that's going to be short lived. I don't see a prediction at all for her being there. But that's it. That's it, everybody. That's it for Comment Corner. That's it for the daily recap for the last Wednesday of 2022. I'll be back tomorrow for the next recap of The Young and the Restless.